It's been interesting. I was actually part of the team that helped work on the strategy around the M-Beta Hotel here in Charlotte. In my prior role, working on the Marriott Hotels brand. Recently, I took over new functions in the company, which basically all of the top line sales functions of the company now rest within my department. And I think the reason for that shift was to make sure we were picking up all the synergies between voice channels, digital channels, our face-to-face B2B sales, global sales effort, as well as our bigger distribution strategy at large. And it gives a bit of a one-stop shop for the company for all sales channels, and obviously very important as we merge with the Starwood brands as well. When we decided to take the Charlotte Hotel and transform it into a beta property, the main thrust of doing that came down to three things. First of all, we wanted to prove that a Marriott hotel in a great location, albeit maybe 30 years old, could be completely transformed and be relevant for today's customers. Secondly, we wanted a working lab that gave us real-time feedback. It's one thing to do focus groups behind a one-way mirror. It's another thing to be sitting in front of your customer in the restaurant, observing and speaking to them as they actually have the experience. And third, and not to be undermined, is the associates of the hotel. I think a lot of times when companies pivot where their brand is going, they pivot wholly thinking about the consumer, which is right, but you can't forget the associates that'll be operating the hotel every day. So it was a combination of associate feedback and customer feedback that's driving us to get the M-Beta Hotel live and running as a real working lab. You know, what's interesting about the Charlotte City Center Marriott as our M-Beta Hotel is the amount of guest research that went into this. We started at a high level. We did almost 6,000 consumer pieces of data around the globe. And we started to see some emerging trends of what people were looking for: style and design, aesthetic, how food and beverage was important. So there are regional differences around the globe, of course, but there are some global trends that appeal to a population of global travelers. So that was one of the insights. We really wanted a city that also marked itself as a global hub, and certainly Charlotte is that city. The other thing that came apparent to us is this hotel really sits at Main and Main in the city. It is the center of commerce and traffic, weekday and weekend, and we wanted a hotel that had that level of predominance in the city. So a couple other trends that we've been seeing is this true emergence of tech and touch, and it is today, I always say digital is so important, but digital is hospitable. I think in the hotel business, some people veer away from technology and don't think it's humane, and that's actually not the case. This hotel is an example of digital being hospitable. Throughout the hotel, we have little round buttons. Customers can push and instantly give us feedback on the things they're experiencing in the minute, in the moment. Real-time feedback that we can actually do something with. So that was another important consideration for us, is how do we embed technology into the hotel in a way that's meaningful for customers and it's relevant to their needs today.